Hey guys, it's Ella from Walter Nutrition. Welcome back to our channel. Today we are joined by powerlifter Matthew Mifsud.
Hi.
And he's going to be telling us a bit about him and his lifestyle as a powerlifter. How did you first get into powerlifting?
I've been training now for about 4.5 years, and I had always been doing squat, bench, and deadlift. And 2 years in, I was like, why not try and compete? Because I had been doing the movements anyway, so might as well try. And yeah, it turned out to be successful, and yeah, that's how I started.
When did you realize you wanted to compete seriously?
Um, I realized after my first competition, because on my first comp I broke 6 national records. So after that, I'm like, you know what? I think I have potential, and I decided to compete internationally the next year, actually in September, 2024. And I didn't do too well, but it was my first international. But yeah, that's when I realized.
What does a typical training week look like for you?
Andexia. Okay. Pretty much. It's a lot of volume typically. I normally train 4 days a week. It consists of a lot of bench. I bench every day because it's one of my weak points. But it's just a mix of squatting and benching, sometimes deadlifting and benching, as long as along with some accessories like leg press and stuff like this. Normally very high intensity, like to failure. And then closer to competition, that kind of just dials down and we start increasing weight, lowering the accessories, and just preparing for competition, doing one rep, focusing on technique, and yeah.
Do you follow a specific program?
Yes, I follow a specific program because if you don't follow a specific program, you kind of are just winging it. And if you want to compete at a high level, you can't be winging it. You have to follow a strict program, a strict diet, and that will get you far. I don't follow a strict diet.
How do you structure your training between squat, bench, and deadlift?
Normally, I squat twice a week on Monday and Tuesday, 2 days in a row, one technique and one volume. So, one is focused on just refining how I squat. Deadlift is kind of very similar. Take one technique day, one volume day. Closer to competition, it's more just technique and maxing out basically. On Monday and Tuesday, I do squat and bench, and one of the squats is technical, and the other one is more volume and going to failure. The same with deadlifts. With bench, it's a lot. It's basically that, but double. Bench is my weak point, and bench is out of all the lifts really hard to progress. Like where I can progress 20 kilos in a year on squat, I can progress 5 kilos maybe in a year, maybe even 10 on a good year on bench. So I have to just up the volume on that. So
Which lift do you enjoy the most and why?
it changes from time to time. It's always the lift that I'm doing best at the moment. So right now it's squat. It's always been the deadlift though, but for some reason I've always had some sort of problems in competition with my deadlift, whether it's grip or whether I do too much and it's too much weight. But hopefully, if I deadlift 300 this year, it's deadlift 100%. That's it. Bench we don't talk about.
Which lift challenges you most? So we are going to talk about it.
Yes, definitely the bench press because again, it's just one of my weak points. As a powerlifter, you can't have all 3 lifts amazing. It's just not gonna happen unless you're 1 in a billion. So hopefully, though, it can turn into a big strong point because I'm working a lot on it this year.
What was your first competition like?
Funnily enough, I wasn't actually nervous at all. It was more just I wanted to prove myself and I wanted to just show people what I can do and start competing. In contrary to my second competition where I was really nervous, I wasn't prepared. To be fair, I had bronchitis. So that was a big step back, It was not very ideal. But I was just excited, honestly. I wasn't nervous at all. I actually placed fourth overall as well, so not too bad for the first comp.
Well done. How do you handle nerves or pressure on meet day?
Uh, how do I handle nerves? Honestly, fake it until you make it. That is literally how I handle it. If I'm feeling nervous on squat, I just pretend like I'm not. I go out on the platform like confident, almost cocky maybe, but that's how honestly I'm always nervous, especially on my first squat. It's like I have to get on the board, you know. Once we get the ball rolling, but the nerves calm down. But if I'm feeling nervous, you just have to fake it. Like you're not nervous. That's it.
Do you have any pre-competition rituals?
Not really, actually. I kind of just treat it as a normal training day. Just I'm 10 times more amped up than usual. You know, it's if you change stuff you do before competition as opposed to training, you know, you're just
Increasing your
you're just
chances of
making
missing.
life complicated. You know, it's if you treat it as something so different, it might mess you up. So I try not to do anything too different. Nutrition stays the same. Um, Everything stays the same, really. Just deload the week and then I compete.
Do you cut or bulk for meets? How do you handle weight classes?
I actually, most of the time, I'm the same weight throughout the year. As in, right now, I'm at my heaviest. I'm 76 kilos, which I've never been before, which is actually a good thing because I need to bulk up, to be honest. I need to fill out my weight class. So normally I just maintain. I never really cut because I feel like if I cut before a competition, it will just make me feel worse because I'll be weaker than I was in training. But it works for some people. For me, I've never really tried it. I'm scared of it. So I try to maintain because I feel the same, you know, in training and in competition.
What does your nutrition look like?
Okay, this year I plan to improve it heavily. However, it's actually, as in, I don't have a structured diet, but I try to eat as good as possible. Like, for example, I get kebab all the time, chicken and rice. Although it has a lot of fat content, it's still like a lot of protein, you know? So it's not like I'm eating pizza and burgers, you know, 24/7.
Try to go on the
I'm trying
healthier.
to go on the healthier side. Although I don't cook a lot of the time at home, I try to go for the best alternative. But structured diet is the best.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
How important is mental strength in powerlifting?
Mental strength is everything. If you don't have a good mentality, you are screwed before the meet even starts. Like, if you're going into a meet and just you think you can't do anything, like you just feel down and you don't feel strong and you're done. You're not gonna have a good day. It's just and even in training normally, like obviously you're gonna have bad days, but if your mentality is not there, it's never a good idea. It's never a good thing.
What motivates you to keep pushing heavier weights?
It's addicting, honestly. Like just for example, this year I squatted 260. I want to squat maybe 270, 275 this year. And it just never ends. Like the next year then I'd want to squat 280, then 290, then 300 one day. It just never ends. It's addicting. I never lose motivation for it. Never. It's a privilege, honestly.
What are your current goals in the sport?
Well, as I've put this out there already, I do want to become a world champion. Right now I'm not at world championship level yet, obviously, but I feel like if I carry on and just the sky's the limit, honestly. I feel like I could do it. You know?
Yes, for sure. I believe in you. What's your proudest lift to date?
Definitely my 260 kilo squat, which I got a gold medal for it on the European stage. So that's definitely my proudest lift so far. Hopefully to many more.
Yes.
But yeah, that did it. To be honest, honestly, similar to how I felt on my first comp, what happened was when we started squatting, you can see the leaderboards in the backstage, and I realized I was first, right? Even on my first attempt, when I squatted 250, there was no one else above me. So when I went out for the 260, I was actually just confident. Like I wasn't nervous. I knew I could do it, and I actually aimed for 270, which I tried. I failed, but again, I was just excited. It felt nuts. Like I didn't believe I could do it that day. I did not think it was. I wanted to win a gold medal, but I did not think it was gonna come at that time.
Great. Have you faced any injuries? How did you overcome them?
Actually, not really. Thank God. Touch wood.
Last time I met you, you were injured. That's why I was this.
Yeah, no, but it was, it wasn't a big injury though. It was just, okay, well then technically no. Redo.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big injury though, to be fair. It was a pretty minor injury, but at the time, what happened was I did a 300 kilo leg press for the first time, and I hadn't leg pressed in a year before that. Very smart. But the thing is, I did 10 reps and they went up really smooth. But then after that, I just felt a massive pain in my lower back going all the way to the left side of my neck. And I was just on the floor for like 10 minutes. I couldn't get up. But after 2 months, I went to the physio, and I was all good. It was probably because I had some
Too
technique
much
issues.
strain.
I don't know. As in, I didn't see any problem with, because I have it on video. I didn't really see any problem with it. It's just
No, but
too much,
you will-
too much too quickly. That's
I
what
think
happened.
if
I
you
think.
feel it after, it's too much strain.
I guess. Yeah, it could be. It could be. Just too much too quickly. Gradually build up your weight. Don't do what I did.
Yeah. What milestone meant the most to you?
To be honest, it was when I deadlifted 200, which again is funny now because it's not even, I don't even warm up with it on squat, like, but 200 kilo deadlift. And when I benched 100 kilos at my friend's house, that was like the most hype thing I had in a while. I was 2 years into my gym journey, so 100 kilos at the time was a big number for me. Now I rep it, like, so it's just
Now's
funny.
your
But
warm-up weight.
It's that warm-up weight.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years in powerlifting?
Hopefully a world champion, but hopefully a lot stronger, definitely much stronger. Hopefully a world champion as well. That's something I want to do within these 5 years for sure, as a junior especially, because after 23 then it's, I face some pretty tough competitors, I'm being honest. So hopefully those two.
Is there a certain age in powerlifting?
Well, up until 23 you're a junior, and then it's open till you're 39, and then you don't keep progressing anymore. When you're 40 and 50, you're getting old now, kind of. A lot of people who are 40 and 50 and even 60 still compete, but obviously the numbers are much lower than when you're mid-20s, even early 30s.
So you'd say mid-20s is your peak.
I would say 30s, somewhere around the 30s is your peak. For most sports anyway, I think as well. So
And to round things up, what advice do you give to others looking to start powerlifting?
my advice to you guys is just start. I know it can look intimidating at first. There are a lot of things you have to do, like a lot of equipment you have to buy. It can be expensive, but honestly, the thrill of going on stage and performing, nothing beats it. Like, I love the sport to death, and I feel like a lot of people are missing out. That feeling you will just keep chasing of hitting that PR on stage. My advice is as well, find a coach. I couldn't do what I do without my coach, 100%. Stay off PEDs and just be consistent. Consistency is key. Without consistency, you will fail.
Thank you guys for watching. This was our interview with Matthew Mifsud. Thank you, Matthew, for joining us. As a thank you for joining us, we have this from Water Nutrition. Enjoy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next interview.
Oh, okay.